Boy, are you going to enjoy this quick presentation, guys, because as you can see, people from Apple, Google, Twitter have left those big blue chip companies and come to work for Solana. This is the name of this coin. And after doing a couple of days of research here, I've already gone and bought the coin because it was an inevitable result, really, because just look at how cool that web design is. That page, it's so slick. These people are very good programmers. They're very good fintech software creators, and just a little bit of research on this coin shows you that these guys are very smart. They've sort of taken everything that we've seen in Ethereum and Bitcoin and just vastly improved on it. Their blockchain is the fastest in the world. It does almost 60,000 transactions per second, one every 400 milliseconds. It's been featured on CoinDesk, Yahoo, Fortune, Wall Street Journal, Cointelegraph, and that's because it's got these big companies. People have left Apple and Google and Microsoft to work on it. So they've got good connections, and you can see here that with it being so fast and it's secure and it's decentralized, that there is Solana has solved this trilemma, and no sharding is required, and they've got this proof of history consensus where they've basically Google's been working on this, but by using like atomic clocks and getting everything to agree. So instead of building a blockchain and then like, oh crap, let's try and make it better, like they're doing with Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, they built a trustless algorithm, a software that solves the blockchain problems, and then just built a blockchain around that algorithm, that software, to make it secure and decentralized. But it's already got the speed and the latest technology to solve any of the problems that the older blockchains are having. Like sharding is where you split different parts of the blockchain onto different nodes, so it doesn't have to interact with the whole blockchain. It only interacts with part of it, because they all all the other nodes are in agreement with the rest of the blockchain. So that's one way, but it's an overlayer on top of Ethereum. For example, sharding, which is what's going to happen in the new sort of staking Ethereum 2.0. But these guys have already figured that out. They know how to make it faster than Ethereum, and they've looked at what Ethereum's doing with sharding, and they've gone one step beyond that as well. In fact, their podcast is called #NoSharding, because they know that that's a fix that's not really going to last very long, because the real money to be made is where you can offer apps and other companies access to throughput service, TPS, the fastest throughput, at such a super cheap cost, and in a lightweight design. You can have it on your phone and on your as well as on your bank card, or on your computer and stuff like that. So these guys are smart. They are not just from big companies. They've looked at what's been going wrong with everything and fixed it. If you look at this part of the website, you can build the next great decentralized prediction market on here, the next big payment network, marketplace. It can be like an Amazon or something, an exchange. The list goes on, and they've got lots of people who are building on this network, and they're stress testing the network. They're doing so much behind the scenes that they don't even really advertise. I've had to go around, dig around on Twitter, and then look at people who they're connected with and had meetings with, like Hummingbot, and they're looking at API keys with Binance and Bittrex, and looking at if their software is fast enough to do like trading bot software, just to see if it can handle the load. It's just incredible. And then here you go, Apple, Qualcomm, Intel, I forgot about that one, Google, Microsoft, Twitter, Dropbox. Isn't it cool that all these companies that are very competitive, in the stock market or in Silicon Valley, they could come together on one project and work together? I find that fascinating. So if I click on that box there, more about us, then it takes us to this page. And if I just scroll down a little bit, it's got the same information there, but then it's got who's invested in this technology, in this coin. And I clicked on a couple of these guys. This is CMCC Global, and apart from having a really nice clean website, if we just look at this here, this company, blockchain technology, is bringing about the next era of the internet, which will facilitate the digital movement of value rather than just information. It is ushering in the dawn of a purely digital asset class, running on distributed servers without centralized ownership or control. Over the next decade, this digital asset class will expand exponentially, engulfing traditional financial instruments like stocks, bonds, land titles, and fiat currency. I mean, look at that. That's just, I mean, they're right. You know, I'm a member of Crypto.com, and I can have a card now that just runs purely on the blockchain. You know, it's interactive with Visa. You know, so I can use it wherever there's the Visa sign, but it's running alongside. You know, it's capturing part of the credit card or debit card market. And these guys are, you know, Crypto.com are taking a commission instead of, you know, just Visa. So, and MasterCard. So it's they're 100% right. They know it, and they're just purely focused on blockchain and you know, this digital asset class, because it is the future and it has the potential to grow. And the you know, Visa, the banking, and the old, you know, systems, that they aren't built to scale like these guys. Foundation Capital, this is another one. Looks like they obviously were an early investor in Netflix. You know, maybe you know some of these you know, companies better than me, because they're scrolling through on their website here some of the other companies that they invest in, and you know, just look at how slick and clean these websites are. You know, the people who've invested in this company are awesome. You know, they're not just maybe a rich individual or a, you know, a talented person. They are excellent companies with you know, great websites, a lot of money, and you know, a massive focus on the digital crypto space. You know, they don't really look at anything else. It is all, you know, fintech and you know, new investment in the financial sort of side of the new era of blockchains or digital asset classes, as the other one said. And the good thing about Solana is, if I click on this, this is sort of what they're doing behind the scenes. You know, stress testing the mainnet and looking at what their maximum throughput TPS, you know, transactions per second is, asking people for help and paying them. You know, giving them some Solana tokens for being validators, for running a node, for participating in this tour de sol, like, you know, as I said, stress testing the system, getting on board with humming bots and API keys, and interacting with you know, market making and with people like Binance, you know, to help liquidity, because it's that fast, and they've got the know-how. The people that are involved in this coin are so smart. They've already got these connections with these other, you know, affiliated, you know, companies that are innovative in this you know, sort of fintech space. And I guess when you've worked for Apple and Google and Microsoft, you know, these people are your friends. You know, it's easy for this company to do well. It's easy for this coin to grow. It's easy for this coin to succeed. And you know, if you scroll down through some of this, you know, it just gets so complicated I can't even describe it. You know, talking about a Solana cluster and what you know, block height, instead of, you know, using that to, you know, validate the network. Yeah. So I learned something really good off Ivan on Tech. You know, I don't know if you know who he is. If you're in the crypto space, you know, you tend to come across him at some point. And he always said something really interesting to me. He told me that if you really think a coin is good and it's the technology behind it is very clever, then go ahead and click on their GitHub, because if they're making alterations and they're modifying the software, and they've really got good programmers and coders, and it's a very active community on that coin, then when you click on their GitHub, you should see that there are many additions or modifications, or they call it a GitHub repository or something. So if we click on the GitHub here, and we just scroll down a little bit, all you have to do is you'll just see these repositories or additions, and you can see it says example hello world, written in JavaScript, updated 3 hours ago. Then something on the Solana Web3 JavaScript 4 hours ago. 3 hours ago, message feed, example token, example web wallet. These things were done today. If you want to see if a coin is actually, following up on its promises and is constantly evolving. Look, updated 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 12, 2 days, 6 days. This is Sol Miner. Yeah, brilliant. There is so many recent entries here on the GitHub that you know that they're serious. They're constantly adjusting and modifying the code, and there's a lot of people here because there are many entries on different parts of the Solana ecosystem, if you like. So I'm really excited about it. I hope that's really giving you a really quick idea, but it's an in-depth sort of skim through just some of the stuff I've looked at without going, trying to do too much in one video. But it's also hopefully giving you a good, idea on how you should look at coins in the future, because they should get you as excited as I am about this one if you're going to invest in them. And they should solve, real world problems and do it better than anyone else, or be one of the best in that area before you part with your hard-earned cash. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. I know I loved putting all this information together, and I've gone ahead and invested in it. There's another video actually on the charts of Solana, because I'd heard about it before, and I think these guys it's a high performance team, and it's going to be a high performing coin. So everything about it just looks slick and top notch, and they're concentrating on that, getting that really high TPS, that transactions per second, that throughput, and they've already made some waves in these reputable online magazines and things, and websites. So if they're not on your radar now, I think they are definitely going to be in the very near future. So it's a proof of history coin, because they've worked out this new system of getting the consensus to agree by using time rather than just a traditional blockchain, and then whichever algorithm and software that they use, they then built the blockchain around that to make it decentralized and secure. So they've spent a lot of time working on this, and so have I. So give it some love, give it a thumbs up and a like, and I'll catch you in another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.